You are the hero in your relationships. You are the hero in the dynamics that you put yourself in and that you surround yourself with. What does that mean? Is that really a foreign word for you? Do you not understand what I'm trying to say? Well, let me explain it to you. Savior complex. It's a word that's thrown around a lot, but do you truly understand what it means and how it actually works in your life and in your decision making? It most often happens when an empath or someone who just understands another person's perspective in life and what they're going through the situation, and they're like, I don't want this person to experience the same pain and trauma and hurt that I experienced. In fact, I'm going to do everything in my power to get them out of it or to stop them, to save them. Not everyone is ready to be saved. And most cases, you're doing nothing except overexerting yourself or giving more energy and more effort to an endless pit that needs to be filled by the person who dug it. In relationships, let's take a romantic side. You are attracted to someone, let's say it's at work. You're attracted to someone at work, and this person is so funny, they're so vibrant, they're everything that you could possibly want, right? Because you're attracted to them. But they have a shoddy confidence, or they have a shoddy mentality when it comes to something that you already dealt with, that you already went past, that you already burst through the threshold in your own life. And you're like, well, it's only right, I'm the older person, or I'm the more mature person, or I'm more knowledgeable, or I've already been through this. Anything you want to say. It all leads to the same thing. I can save this person. I can change this person's mentality. I can change this person's attitude. I can change this person's actions, behaviors, ba-da-da-da-da. But what are you doing other than having superiority over them? In a way. In a way, you are saying, I am better in this situation and scenario, which means you must follow my lead or I must teach you a better way. You did not get in this relationship, or you're not choosing to be in a relationship to fix this person. If you decide to do that, even midway or the beginning or the end of a relationship, the long-term effects of it, you may actually get results. You may actually change their mindset or the way that they think. But if they're not ready for it, they would never. And it's not up to you to save the people in your life. It's not up to you to change the people's minds that have not grown or are ready for growth the way that you have changed and surpassed yourself. When you're in a romantic relationship, the first idea is to come, but I love them. Why wouldn't I want the best for them? Do they want the best for themselves? Because if that isn't the case, then they won't have the best interest for themselves. You're not trying to change them. You're trying to change your view of them. You're thinking about a future self, a future fantasy self of them. It's like, well, if they just change their mentality, if they just change their attitude, if they just change these behaviors, if they just change these perspectives of life, they're going to be a great person. They're going to be a great mother. They're going to be a great father. They're going to be a great spouse. They're going to be a great person if they just grow, if they just change into someone else that they're already not. If they just turn to something that I didn't get with them initially with. If they just grow or change. If they just turn to something else that they're already not. And if that's the case, then why are you with them in the first place? For the future of possibilities? What if they never change? What if they never grow? What if the person that you started dating them as is until death? Would you be happy with that person? Would you be okay with the decisions that they're making, with the mindsets that they're having? Would you be okay if they never change and they stay stuck in the same mentality for the rest of their lives? That's a no. I know it's a no, because if you are in savior complex, it means that you think that you could change them. It means that you think there's a possibility of them being better than they already are, of being the type of person that you dream and inspire of having and being with. But it's not the case. That's not who they are. The person that they showed you is who they are. It's not someone that you think that they could be, that you dream, oh, give them a few years to mature. No, a few years to mature or not, the person that they are is who they are. And you don't have the responsibility. You shouldn't bear the responsibility, bear the witness, bear the effort that it takes to make someone grow. If you think about it, no one taught you how to grow, right? No one changed your perspective and said, hey, you're doing this wrong. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Why are you doing this wrong? I tell you all the time to have a better mentality, better positive, da 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 da. If that didn't happen for you, why do you think that should happen for someone else? Just by being an example in your environment and in your life and in yourself, you subtly change people. If you're already in a relationship and you already have this complex or this situation that you are trying to involve yourself in, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to end well. Not because it won't work, because you won't get the results that you're searching for. You won't get the person that you're trying to create in your mind, in reality. Because they would never be that person, quite honestly. And why? Because they didn't have that innate goodness or innate want to be that person in the first place. And you're just putting more pressure and responsibility that they aren't loved or that they won't be loved because you can accept them for who they are now. So this is why the mistake of savior complex is such a big deal. This is why it destroys most relationships. It's actually the reason why most relationships start. Because of this savior complex, but because of this, oh, well, there's so many bad qualities, but they have this one good quality, and if they just amplify that, or if they just, just make it a bit better, or if they just change a little bit in some way, oh man, that would be a dream. That would be the perfect spouse. If they just did this about themselves, if they just were something that they aren't now. And if you understand that what you're doing or these actions that you're taking is a savior complex or a feeling, an experience of superiority over this person, over knowing, okay, well, I know better, then it'll affect the way you interact with relationships. If you're learning this now outside of a relationship, this is so good for you because you're going to take this message and you're going to think about, okay, this person I'm interested in, are they someone that I want to be with right now? Or do I think that they'll change or be a different person or be better or have these habits or change experiences, mentality, whatever? Or do I like them for how they are right now? In everything, in their fullness of themselves, in the full face of every side that they show. Oh, but the only bad quality they have is just the way they argued. If they just got past that. That's just one example. Saying that you don't appreciate, you don't value, you don't like this side of them. You don't have to like every side of your partner, but you should be knowing what you're getting yourself into. And then you blame the partner or you blame yourself for not changing or for not being better. You get frustrated and then you're like, well, what was the point of this relationship if they didn't change, if they didn't do all this? I put all this time and effort into making this person a better person. But who asked you to do that? You tried to create an ideal person for yourself when the person was never ideal. Not everyone is perfect. No one is perfect. But the ideal that you're trying to strive for, the image that you're trying to project onto another being, it's not going to work out. Why? Because they are not that. And the image that you have that is creating a fantasy around this person of illusionary emotions and illusionary preconceptions. What is it? Illusionary goals? It's not the right word, but something like that. Illusionary things. An illusionary threshold. basically. Let's say your partner's right here, and you're like, if they just took a little, just a couple more steps, we're going to be on the same level. We're going to be on the same plateau. We're going to be giving the same. When in fact, it's the opposite. You should be